thought I'd better talk to you because I've been wandering around the garden for 2 vlogs. And then there was the chat by the river where all you got to see was a knee, or the profile of a knee. I thought I'd better prove that I'm here. You know, you get those people that think I'm off time travelling somewhere. It's 9 o'clock and it's about 28 and a half out here. It feels really warm. It feels comfortable. And because I got quite cold indoors, because we've managed to keep the temperature down, we've had these shutters closed and the front door shutters closed um, all day. And we were out for some of the day. We went off to Joe's and had lunch near, I think it's called Lake Mondon. So it was quite nice, very hot. I don't like being out in the heat. I was saying to Mark, I don't recall when we talked about moving to France whether the heat was an issue. It wasn't something that I remember thinking about. It might be. We might have thought we won't go any further south than here. Um, but actually, it just gets so hot, and I don't like hot. So once the temperature reaches 28 in the middle of the day, that's it. I'm indoors with the shutters closed. So I don't. I just don't enjoy the summer. I don't get depressed in summer. I mean, this is really lovely to be able to sit out here. This is not as oppressive. Last night felt oppressive when I was out doing the wander around the garden. The heat felt oppressive. It doesn't feel like that now, but I know that if I sat here for longer and start heating up, it will begin to feel so. There's a bit of a breeze. So yeah, I don't recall it being an issue. We didn't talk about it, and of course, with climate change, it has got hotter here. I think it's certainly got hotter for longer. Somebody mentioned the other day, can't remember exactly what their words were, but it looks like you have lots of dry periods, or I don't think they use the word drought, but we do. We've had drought restrictions now for, where are we, July, for about 3 months. We've had hot weather on and off for 3 months. I said today, you know, May was really hot, and Joe said you weren't here in May. And I went, oh no, I wasn't. But I think before we left, it was hot. I had a lot of rain here in May when we left. I think in the first week or two. But it was hot when we came back. It was stinking hot the day we travelled home from Paris. Um, so yeah, so yeah, we do. It is very dry, and so consequently, the grass, what there is of it, doesn't. There's quite a bit of green actually now. The trimmings brought it back up, brought it, you know, taken it down. There is a bit of green, but it's not lush, and it won't be lush until it isn't lush until we get a lush green grass in spring, and we'll get a lush green grass in autumn, and then it just dies and becomes sort of brown, which is a shame. And a lot of it isn't grass, it's weeds. It's sort of mixed. I don't know what weeds it is. I don't even look. I think over in front of me, further away, is clover. There's quite a lot of clover, I think, over there. But it isn't grass. It's just whatever it is. I imagine that when this house was built and we went to the um, went to the insurance company the week before last, I think it was, to revise our insurance, because I realised that we hadn't done that for years, and you know it needed revising. We needed to make sure that we'd covered everything. And he said, "How old is the house?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know, but I think it was probably built in the probably around 1850. So 1950, 1850, 1950, 2050. So in, you know, it's coming up for 170 years old, and that's my guess. I'm not wrong, not, you know, I don't really know, but I imagine that what is on the ground and what's coming up, and the grass is what was here, um, what grew once they dug out and built the house. This would have been um, part of the forest, and I know that, well, you saw what happened when we went away and the lawnmower wouldn't work, and nothing, no gardening got done. You saw how quickly it grew in May. Well, if we went away and left this for months and months and months, the trees would grow, the bamboo would grow, other things would grow and start taking over. So this is just reclaimed land. We're sitting on reclaimed land from the forest, and it will never look like people imagine a lawn will look like. You can't call this a lawn. It's a load of weed and grass covered, interspersed with bare patches of dirt and more bare patches of dirt from molehills. It's never going to look nice. I mean, I'm quite happy with it as it is, but it's not lush, and I find it worrying when people use a lot of water to create lush grass. I get quite pissed off, how people use water like it's an infinite resource, and it isn't, and people uh, throwing water down to keep a lawn alive and to keep grass alive when there are people that don't have drinking water. And even I think I read something years ago, you wouldn't use water to flush away your shit if you knew um, how hard it is for some people to find drinking water. So yeah, I find the whole trying to manicure your garden and make it just so uncomfortable, I suppose is a way to put it. So we didn't have a storm. I do think we've got storms forecast later on in the week, but we didn't have a storm. But there were storms, and they weren't close enough to be the clouds that I could see. The storms were at some distance away. There were storms over France yesterday, quite violent, I think, further south. But we didn't have a storm, and we didn't have any rain. The sky just had that look about it. It doesn't tonight. It is a bit cloudy, but it doesn't have that stormy look about it. I let the chickens out this morning before we went out, and I haven't been down again. So I haven't done that whole wandering up and down the garden, thankfully, because I did a lot of that over the last few days, because having people here, having people working in the garden and needing to go and supervise, as I call it, has been tiring. So it's been quite nice that I've not had to go down, and I will go down shortly and put the chickens away, and hopefully I'll find where they're laying eggs, because we had that big glut of eggs and I managed to use them all. I took some for Claire. Who else did I give some to? I didn't give any to Manuel because he'd had some. Don't remember who I gave them to. Then I used the final. Hairdresser Jen, took some to Jen. Then I had 5, and I did make a quiche. Not It didn't turn out that well because I hadn't got enough eggs, and I had put cream and cheese in it, which made it a bit heavy. But I've got some of that left in the fridge. We'll have that tomorrow for supper. So yeah, I've got no eggs now. Back to no eggs. It's always the way. Either it's all or nothing with the hens. But the box came back with, I may have said this, the box came back with our fleeces in yesterday. The fleeces that we posted back to ourselves from Canada, the winter clothes that we didn't wear, and we posted them back. They took 7 weeks, so that's not bad. They said it would take about 6 weeks because it's coming, not surface mail, it would have been shipped, but I suppose surface mail, coming by sea is classed as surface mail. So yeah, that came surface mail, and that's a nice box. So I will take that down. So I've taken something down. It's not a box, it's a sort of a square basket thing. I've taken that down and filled that with straw. I'll take this Canada Post box down and fill that with straw, and hopefully that might let them start laying back in the coop. I'm just still concerned that there's red mite down there. I came back with 3 on me the other night, and I hadn't touched anything, I'm sure. So I had a really, I took Piriton today because I think that I am struggling with the high pollen count. Not something that I've struggled with in the past, but I think I am. So before we went off to Joe's, I took Piriton, and they're meant to be non-drowsy, which is why I bought them. I got her to bring them back from the UK for me because what I had here took one and it just knocks you off. So I took a Piriton, and then this afternoon, after we'd been and we'd come back, it was about 10 to 5, and I sat on the sofa and had an hour and a half dead, not dead sleep, but very dreamy sleep, very solid sleep. At one point, my mum was trying to wake me up, and that didn't work. And then I got visitors arriving, and I hadn't got anything to give them, and very dreamy, very nice sleep. Because did I have another disturbed night? I think I was up in the night. Oh yeah, I was up in the night. Um, so yeah, it was nice to have that. Hopefully, I'll sleep tonight. Nothing going on tomorrow. I might go to the shops. I'm not sure. I might go up to Intermarché, but nothing going on otherwise. Nothing happening next week, I don't think. Hopefully, till Jonathan comes on Thursday to carry on cutting logs. So it'd be nice to have a week of not. It's been busy again, and I found that tiring. We still need to wait to hear for a date for my surgery. We had a phone call the other day saying we're going to get a phone call. I'm ringing you to tell you that I'm going to be ringing you. Like, why didn't you just wait? But yeah. Anyway, so I thought I would let you see that I am still here, and I haven't gone anywhere. I don't intend ever to go anywhere, ever again, ever. Oh, I know. We were talking to Joe and talking about um, the one of the local cats that came and trotted in and through the cat flap, came through and walked through the room like it owned the place. And somebody had said about the cat flaps that open with a collar, and I didn't want to put a collar on her because she's not got a whole that leg on one side. And I think, when she's not had a collar for all of her life, to suddenly have a collar on at age 10, is she 10? 2016, so she's 8, 7. To suddenly have a collar on is not really going to work, but apparently you can buy cat flaps that work with the chip, and she's got a chip, so I've ordered one, so that'll be good. We'll put that on the outer door that is just a wooden door that opens and closes. We'll put that cat flap on the outer door so that cat can't come in at all. I'll be really pleased about that. I hope she gets used to the new cat flap, because what she's got at the moment is it's just a hole in the door that has, that we leave open and we can close it with a bolt. So it'll be another cat flap. She comes into Mark's bunker through a cat flap from the utility room. So she's used to a cat flap, but I'm not sure how she'll take to having two. I'm not sure whether only having one leg makes it a bit more difficult. It always sounds very clumsy when she comes through, so we'll see. Anyway, so I've ordered that. That should come next week. Right, okay, I'm going to go off and go down to the chickens now, take that Canada Post box and see if I can find some eggs. And today is Saturday, so we're a bit behind. You'll get this tomorrow, which is Sunday. Thought you'd like to know that Sunday comes after Saturday.